So back in 2010, I interviewed three of the people who were in charge of Pew Research marriage division. I was working for CDC at the time, and I just needed to ask some off the cuff questions as it related to Black men. Why was Pew so interested in titling three of their categories as a Black interracial thing? When the numbers for Pew Research, I pointed out to two of the people, because the third one was clearly had an agenda, being that she was a Black woman and her father was white. But I asked them, your numbers have not changed since 1999. They were the same in 2001, 2002, 2005. Why are your numbers always the same for Black men? And as you guys know, I'm a patient person. So when they started deflecting and talking about other things, I said, may I interject? You haven't answered my question, and it's been 3 minutes. Then the other lady jumped in and said, well, they have answered your question. And I said, no, my question is, if Asian women marry interracially at a higher rate than Black men, if Latin men marry interracially at a higher rate than Black men, if white men marry interracially at a higher rate than Black men, and if Latin women marry interracially more than everybody, what is the logic in picking Black men as the title? What I was told back in 2010, it's the difference between the two, the disparity. I said, okay, so the difference between the two is more important. So wouldn't the difference between Asian women and Asian men be a greater concern? Since you said the disparity between the two, because Asian women marry out way more than Asian men. And I pointed out to Pew Research, you guys even had to create a different category for Cambodian women because you didn't want to put them in the same Asian category because it would inflate the number bigger than Latin women. So you guys created a whole nother category. At this point in time, the Black woman with a white father thought I was being combative. I said, no, I'm just asking a basic question. Why is it that your numbers never changed? 1999, you had Black men at 24%. 2002, you had Black men at 24%. 2005, you had Black men at 24%. Algebra don't work that way. 2010, you had Black men at 23%. You decide to drop it just slightly for that particular year. But 2012, you put it right back up again at 24%. So the weirdest part of all this for me as a Black man is these numbers are always the same, showing Black men marrying out double. That's very weird. But Your same numbers for Black men in metro areas show that white men double white women in marrying out. Your same numbers show that Latin, Hispanics, and Asian men marry out in metro way more than Black folks. These are your own numbers. So again, why make everything about Black men married twice? That's a very weird thing. Asian women marry out 36%. 36, I know it's way higher than that, but 36%. And you claim Asian men marry out 21%. That is clearly a lie. There's not a lot of Asian guys who marry out. That's clearly a lie. But okay. Still, you want to make it about Black men. Weirdest thing ever. So I was willing to hear all of it. I'm not I'm willing to be wrong. But then we got to the part of newlyweds. Blacks are only 9% newlywed, and white folks are 81%. But you claim that white newlyweds are on the decline. The inconsistency is amazing. And you kind of see that it's an agenda. You have intermarriage between white and Hispanic at 43%, when we all know it's clearly more, but you have 14% white and Asian. You have white and Black only 11%. Then you have other mixed people at 30%. Blacks are the least intermarriage in your own information. But again, this is 2010 information. So let me show you this just so you don't think that I'm making it up. But you start to ask Pew Research, how can you make these claims against Black men? And at the same time, your 2010 information shows inconsistencies. What does this say right here? Analysis of 2010 ACS. So you're doing a study of a study. ACS is a study. I used to work at CDC. ACS is a study. So you're doing an analysis, which is a study. The word analysis itself means that you're studying it. You're doing a study of a study. And these are your numbers. 11% for Black and white marriages, 14%, which is higher than 11%. And then for some reason, with all these numbers being way higher than Black and white, you still try to make it seem like Black dudes. Boy, I tell you, really amazing. Really amazing. But this goes to my point to you Black men. You always got anti-Black people trying to destroy your image as Black boys and Black men because you guys don't want to be managers. You don't want to take over Pew Research Center. You don't want to take over the census. You want to just stand by and hope they treat you right. That's not happening. These people are willing to make up lies about you, Black men, to keep you down. Now, I'm going to show you one more because some people was like, oh, Mr. Research, come on, man. The numbers have changed. So here's the numbers from 2010. Mind you, now the numbers are 24% and 12%. So I want to show you this 2010. Just to show you how biased they are with this information. So here we are, 2010. 2010, and down here at the bottom, 2010. Now, notice the numbers are the same. How are the numbers the same every year for the past 10 years? Can anybody explain to me how the numbers are the same against black men every year for 10 years? Even the Hispanic numbers are the same every year for 10 years. This is 2010. But when you go look at the 2015, it's the same. When you go look at 2017, Pew Research says it's the same. This just shows that Pew Research is willing to lie, just to show black males in the negative. Thank you very much for listening to me for this 10 minutes. Donate if you like to for this good information, this documented fact, and I'll talk to you again on the next one.